So welcome everybody to the week 3 live session for the TEM class. I am your host again, host with the mostest, Chris Newton, and we are going to be talking about the week 3 assignments here. And yes, John, discrete math it wasn't too bad. All you have to do is just make sure you keep on top of the work. So just be aware. I took discrete math here, so it's not that hard. But in the week 3, congratulations, you are almost all done with the TEM class. Over halfway, and pretty much almost halfway through week 3, so just about a week and a half left to go in the TEM class for you all. So congratulations. Almost ready to start tackling either the English classes or start getting into your actual core classes. So depending on which section, it's exactly where you're going to go. You'll trade discrete math for TEM again? Yes, if you're going into English, have fun. I'll just leave it at that. Have fun. All right. So with the week 3, this one you actually have now another discussion post that you have to do, as well as a normal assignment. Now, keep in mind, these are now much easier than what you have already dealt with so far. So it kind of ramped up into week 2, but now it's starting to go back down to where it's a lot easier. Primarily, you're going to be working on the networking plan for this week, as well as your mission statement. So really, nothing too hard for this week at all. So again, don't really overthink these 2 assignments. They're really not that hard. The first one is primarily going to be focusing on talking about how you're going to actually network. You're going to hear at Full Sail this one specific word constantly throughout your whole entire degree program, and it is called networking. Because networking is an extremely important part of getting yourself out there in the industry and getting noticed. And one of the biggest things, especially for the entertainment industry and the games industry and the tech industry, you really need to be talking with other industry professionals because they need to know who you are and what your capabilities are. If you just suddenly appear on the scene out of nowhere and say, "Here I am," the very first thing that these companies and these professionals are going to do is instantly say, "Who are you?" So it's really, really important to make sure that you start pushing your name out there so people can start getting to know you more and getting to know your work ethic as well as your information. Exactly, Sarah. Don't be afraid to make the first contact. That's usually how it goes, is you have to take that first step in getting out there and actually connecting with these industry professionals because, again, their time is pretty important. So you have to kind of, take that initiative and actually step forward and say, "Hey, I'm an up-and-coming, say, computer animator, game artist, cloud tech person. I would like to meet you. I'd like to talk a little about the industry and stuff like that." So this is what this assignment is typically going to be focusing on. You're going to start your first steps in creating a network plan for yourself. So just like this was in week 2 with the discussion there, this is going to be roughly about 5 paragraphs in length. All right? Though you don't have to cite any sources on this. The only thing that we're looking for is the actual link to your professional networking site. All right? So the very first one part of this is you're going to create a professional networking account on a social media platform of your choice. All right? So this is up to you on whichever one you want to choose. However, once you choose it, make sure in that paragraph you tell us why you chose it and how will it benefit you as a professional networking site. Okay? So just don't say, "Hey, I'm going to use LinkedIn," and then that's it. Say, "Hey, I'm going to use LinkedIn because I see a lot of industry professionals that are in my industry here that I can actually go out, link to, talk with, and stuff like that." Barbara, you can use Facebook if you want. Jessica, Instagram would. However, if you're in game art or computer animation, you're going to be doing ArtStation anyway, and that is going to be your primary place that you're going to be putting all of your work onto. So if you're going to be doing that, I would say focus on looking at ArtStation. You have Tweeter. Tweeter's good as well. But again, I would actually focus on ArtStation if you're going to be in that scenario. Jessica, if you do have a pseudonym, that's perfectly fine. Just as long as you market yourself as that pseudonym. So don't worry about it. Personal website, that is perfectly fine as well, Justin, if you already have one. Okay, so the first paragraph is you're going to be talking to me about the, for Maria, for graphics design, what would be the best social media? Anywhere that you can actually showcase your graphic design art. So you can even do it on Twitter. You can do it on Facebook. It's however you want to be able to utilize this. Dribbble. I've not heard of Dribbble. Behance would be a good one, Alana. Well, again, if it's almost Behance, that would be fine. Just remember, the biggest part of this is once you choose that professional networking site, you're going to have to tell us why you chose it and how will it benefit you and make you get your networking started for this. All right. So that is going to be pretty much the first paragraph. All right. Then from there, what you're going to be doing is you're going to go to C. Now, if you already have a Facebook account, or any other type of account that you're already using, here is a big thing that you really want to make sure. Make sure you do not have any incriminating pictures or posts that are not of a professional manner. Okay? Because the biggest thing here is all it takes is an employer wanting to look at your Facebook, and if they end up finding you and then they take a look at your Facebook, even if you do not have any incriminating pictures or posts, they will end up seeing your friends' stuff, and then they will go to their sites, and if they do have anything incriminating or really derogatory posts, that could negatively impact you. So if you have a personal Facebook, if you have a personal Twitter, lock it down. Only friends. And do not invite any employers or any employee onto your personal social media. Set up a professional one, and then just focus on the professional stuff. That is it. Okay? Especially in today's time and whatnot with all the craziness out there, because what ends up happening is if this incriminating stuff, all that the employer is going to do is look at it and go, oh, that doesn't hold our values and our culture at stake, so we're not going to hire you. And that's a perfectly valid thing. So you have to make sure that, yeah, Sarah, exactly. A guy got fired from work because he friended a supervisor and then badmouthed the company. So, and that has happened before. So that's one of the big reasons why you have to make sure if you have a personal account that has some really something that could be construed as negative, lock it down, only friend invite, and then make a professional version. All right? Yeah, you really have to watch on that stuff. All right? Exactly, Sarah. PR is 90% of the chances of getting hired because, again, all it takes is one employer just taking a look at your site and stuff, and then going, "Oh, this doesn't look good. This will negatively impact the viewing because we have an employee that's showing all of this really incriminating stuff that doesn't go along with our culture, so then they won't hire you. And many companies now are actually starting to Google your name and look at your social media accounts to see who you are. So you have to make sure that you're thinking about that. Exactly, Chelsea. That's why you should have 2 accounts. I have 3 myself, but one's my personal one that's only for my family, then another personal one for my friends, and then I have a professional one. So it's all pretty much locked down on that stuff. All right. So once you have chosen your social media account, and then you told us why you chose it and how will it benefit you, then what you're going to do is you're going to talk about what professional organizations that you think you want to join. A professional organization is a group that is made up of professionals in your industry and advocates and promotes that industry. This is not a company. All right? This is not a place of employment. These are professional organizations like IGDA, things like that. You can take a look at, here's some of them right here. All right? You can take a look at some of these to be able to see what kind of professional organizations that are out there. So take a look at some of these and then see if one is actually something that you would actually like to join. You do not have to actually join this. All right? Just say, hey, this is the professional organization that I think I would like to join. Here is the reason why. Okay? Make sure that you are explaining yourself on this stuff. All right? Just don't list the professional organization. Tell me why you chose it and how do you think it would benefit you. Chelsea, you do have to at least have one. If it doesn't have to be on that list, however, you do have to say what professional organizations do you think you would want to join. Again, if you don't want to join any of them or you're doing something on your own, that's perfectly fine. All you have to do is just kind of flub this one. All right? Just look at them and say, hey, I'm kind of interested in enjoying this thing. However, it's not going to be really, you don't really have to if you don't want to. It's just like, hey, this one looks pretty good. I may end up joining it one day, and then just talk about why you think you would join it and how do you think it would benefit you. Instagram, yeah, especially for graphics designers and stuff like that, I would say that Instagram would be one. However, I would also say just take a look at it because you do have graphics design. Again, they do have social media stuff, and that's why I say Instagram would be fine. But you also have LinkedIn, and then there's AIGA, so you can also take a look at this stuff. But ultimately, that's what the professional organization is all about. Just look at them and say, hey, this is one I think I would probably join, and then just tell me why you chose it and how would it benefit you. All right? Now, part 3, where do you plan on making professional contacts? This one is up to you. How do you think you're going to make these contacts? Are you going to do any meetups? Or how are you going to do it? Via online blogs, online, etc. This is kind of talking about how you will make these contacts. If you're going to be talking about your social media account, tell us how you think you would reach out to these professional individuals and how you would go about doing that. All right? So that is the paragraph 3 for this one. Again, don't be nervous on this, but ultimately just remember this is what you have to end up doing eventually to be able to get your name out there. You're going to have to start thinking about all of this stuff. So I understand that people can get nervous and whatnot about this. However, you do have to kind of push forward and get out of your comfort zone because that's where many of the people end up looking at you for that. If you plan to start your own business, you can still link your business to these professional organizations and stuff like that. So again, these professional organizations and whatnot are the ones that just say, hey, you can come here, you can talk about what your company has to offer, things like that. That's some of the reasons why it's always cool to at least take a look at these organizations and how to meet these contacts. Because if you're going to be starting your own company, you're going to have to market yourself. You're going to have to market your company, and these professional organizations are where to do it. It's really how you get your name out there very quickly. That's why you kind of see game developers conferences out there, the SIGGRAPH, the IGDA, and stuff like that. Shelby, it doesn't matter if you don't have anything posted on those accounts yet. Ultimately, because what you're going to be doing on there is just saying, hey, I'm new. This is, as I'm going to be using this website or this social media account as a way to showcase my work. And then as you go along, that's how you're going to be posting everything. Maria, so we need a networking account like Behance and then another professional like Twitter. You only need one. You just choose which one you want to use. If you want to use Twitter or Behance, that's perfectly fine. If you want to go further beyond that, do both. But ultimately, all we're really looking for is just one. Okay? Once you have the third paragraph done, now you're going to be talking about conferences. Haha, conferences. What conferences do you think that you would like to attend? When do you think would be the soonest you could attend if you could? And just think of conferences like really big meetup that have events. I mean, just think of anime cons and stuff like that. This is what these game conferences are all about. The GDC is one of the big ones. The Game Developers Conference that's always held in California. Yeah, like Comic-Con, Brittany. Exactly. So you're going to be talking about, in that fourth paragraph, what kind of conferences would you like to attend? Now, it says, would you like to attend? Again, it doesn't mean that you have to attend. So, again, make sure that you are looking at the rubric in here, because all of these will also probably have conferences linked to them. So you can actually go in and take a look at all the conferences that these will hold, like the WWDC for Apple. Things like that. The IEEE is a big one for cloud technology and software development. So you get to be able to go and take a thing. E3 is another conference. Yes, Chelsea. So ultimately, you're going to be talking about what conferences would you like to attend. Okay? Even if there's no conferences around where you're at, you can still say, hey, I would one day want to attend like the GDC since I'm in game development or game design or game art and stuff like that. I would love to attend the GDC at one point in time in my life because of this. All right? So ultimately, talk about which of the conferences that you would like to attend that are related to your industry. All right? So that'll be paragraph 4. Now, paragraph 5 is talking about 3 things that you can do right now to start your network. All right? Here's some examples, but you're just not limited to these ones, so you can kind of make your other ones up. But say, for instance, let's see, interview an industry professional on how they started and what advice would you give a new designer. Join a local professional organization. Ask to be mentored by an industry professional. Follow a professional on a social networking platform. Or volunteer to work at an industry conference or convention. So what you're going to be doing for that 5th paragraph is just labeling 3 items that you could do right now to start your networking, your network out there right now. All right, and then just give a little bit more information as to why you chose that one. DeviantArt is another one. But ultimately, there's going to be 5 paragraphs for this. So, I am actually going to show you an example on this one. This one was an animation one. And as you see, They chose. They were talking about the networking site on here, and then they chose LinkedIn for this one. Then they went into the professional organizations and talked about the different ones that they chose and why they chose it. Then how they're going to make the professional contacts, the conferences, and then the three things that they would be able to do on this. Then make sure you do give me a full link to the social media account that you're using. All right? So make sure that you link that in there. And as I say, it's a LinkedIn account. I took it out. That way I don't get bombarded. But ultimately, make sure that you put the professional link at the bottom. All right? So as you see, there's roughly 5 paragraphs in this one. This is going to be considered an exceptional post. Oh, Robert, I can tell you right now, I typically get about 80 students a month hitting me up on my LinkedIn account. And it's like, wow, my whole networking thing is mostly Full Sail students. Yeah. I mean, I have others in the industry, in the professional industry for the game development and stuff like that. I have Sony, EA, I have Bethesda, unfortunately, but I have quite a few references out there and people that I know that are in those companies and whatnot. But if you ended up finding my LinkedIn thing, you would see mostly Full Sail students. So that's why I kind of took my link out from here on out. But again, this is typically what I am looking for this specific 3.0 post. All right. Now keep in mind, the initial post is due by Thursday. So make sure that this is done by Thursday. All right. Then once you're done with the initial post, you have to come back and do 4 response posts for this specific discussion. Again, make sure that you're looking at the rubric. It says minimum of 4 replies. All right. But the Thursday submittal is for the initial post. Sunday, you should have all 4 replies in. Make sure that you are getting at least 4 to 5 paragraphs on this, talking about all of those specific things that I just went over. All right. Does anybody have any question on the 3.0 assignment? This one isn't too hard. It's just talking about how you're going to network, primarily. You shouldn't be beating your head against the wall, John. That's the reason. Shelby, I would just reach out to your instructor and talk to them about that. Sometimes if you're really, really busy, they can make an exception on that. So just reach out to them. Yeah, Robert, this one is really, really not that hard. This assignment is worth 10% of the overall grade. Yeah, Lewis, if you have anything that would be considered inappropriate and stuff, yeah, I would lock that Facebook account down ASAP. Wenli, so when we do the first paragraph, we should show where it is and how they can link to it. Exactly. You can actually, in the first paragraph, you can put your link right after the first paragraph. That's fine. I usually put it at the bottom because that way it kind of looks like a citation, and then people are kind of used to that method. But if you want to put your social media link up in the first paragraph, that's perfectly fine. Next week's assignments are not that hard, Aaron. Don't freak anybody out. They're really not that hard. Yes, Brandon, exactly. All right. Don't worry about next week, Chelsea. It is extremely easy. I usually have students done by Wednesday. All right. Well, that's a cool thing. Even with the video, you don't have to put yourself in it as long as you use images. I mean, if you made the creative presentation stuff, that's pretty much would be acceptable as well. So, yeah, exactly, Kayla. I mean, again, I don't like to beat around the bush on assignments. These really are not that hard. They're a little time consuming, yes. However, um, they're not hard. All right. So now we get into. Oh, John, it's for next week. It's just you're doing a reflection video. All right. So now we get into the mission statement. This one is actually pretty fun for everybody. This one, all you're going to do is write anywhere between 5 and 10 sentences. And how this is going to be broken down is you're going to have the first sentence state a main mission goal that you can accomplish between 12 and 24 months. All right? So typically what we end up having people, a lot of students do is say something like, within the next 2 years, I want to have a GPA of 3.0 from the game design or game art degree field. Right? That's typically the easiest one that I've seen quite a few students use. Right? So the very first sentence should be that main mission goal that you can accomplish between 12 and 24 months. All right? Then you're going to do a sentence declaring 3 values which you believe the mission can be achieved. So down here at the bottom, there's this values list.doc. When you pull that values list.doc up, you're going to see like 400 and some odd values in here. All right? You're going to choose 3, and in a sentence, declare what those values are. Okay? So, for instance, you're just going to, the second sentence would be, the values which I will be able to achieve this main mission goal will be determination, adaptability, and timeliness. Okay, for instance, those 3. Then all the follow-up sentences should be telling us how you will specifically use that value to get to your main mission goal. Make sure that those follow-up sentences are specific, they're reasonable, and they can be measured. All right, and they're pretty much that fit in that timeliness of the 12 to 24 months. All right, that is pretty much it on this assignment. Now, we do have an example here. However, keep in mind that this example only has 2 of the 3 values listed. All right, as you see, they're just talking about determination and adaptability. You have to make sure that you do 3. Make sure you have a measuring tape to the assignment. Got it. Well, that's one of the reasons why I like making sure I stress this point, John, because typically what ends up happening is many students just look at the example and then they miss the 3 values and they just give me 2, and then they only have 2 of the follow-up sentences. And what ends up happening is now they're at an 80% right off the bat. And if anything else is incorrect in the mission statement, it tends to fall apart from there. So that's why I really want to stress this stuff. The very first sentence should state the actual main mission goal. Then the second sentence should be declaring the 3 values. All right? And as you see here, even so, it says use 3 values to earn top points. Then you're going to be creating a sentence per value that states how that value is going to get you to your main mission goal. Make sure that statement, that sentence is specific, reasonable, and measurable. All right. So as you see here, so for instance, the adaptability. What they're saying is will be shown by my willingness to try new things, everything from new foods to meeting new people, and by my reaction to failure. I will examine my mistakes and learn from them. That can easily be, that is specific, and it's reasonable, and it can be measured. Okay? Now, biggest thing here that I end up usually getting at least one or two students that do this. Do not copy our example and use it as your own. I kid you not, every month I at least get 1 to 2 people that try to do this. It's my backup drive there, Ben. So, please do not do that. Because what ends up happening is you lose all your professionalism and you go on to academic dishonesty. So please do not do this. Yeah, they just instantly go highlight this, copy, and then paste and then turn it in. So it's like instantly I recognize it right off the bat. Trust me, Brittany, I have no clue why. However, it does happen. Well, from what I think it is since they think it's an online, since it's online, they pretty think the instructors don't look at the assignments, and they just copy and paste it and go, yeah, I'll get an easy grade off of this, and I don't have to work on it. No, please do not do that. For me and all the instructors in TEM, we do read these. So please make sure that you do not do that. Now, it's perfectly fine if you want to use the same values. However, don't just say, my determination will push me to attend all lectures and labs, complete all assignments on time, and join or create study groups, because instantly that's saying you're doing the exact same thing that we have in the example. You can use the same values, however, make sure that you come up with your own links to your main mission goal. All right? But again, I wish I didn't have to stress that. However, it happens at least once or twice a month. So I always have to put that caveat out there. So again, just make sure that you're looking at that. But remember, this does have to be at least 5 to 10 sentences in length. If you end up following this straight off the bat, you're going to say the first sentence is your main mission goal. The second sentence is the declaration of the 3 values. And then the other 3 sentences are going to specifically be for the how that value is going to get you to the main mission goal. So instantly you're at 5 sentences alone, just on that. All right? Now, with this one, you do also have to kind of take that picture again, like you had that option to do for the plan of attack. However, just make sure that when you take a snapshot of it and just say, hey, where are you going to put this? Just show us where it's going to be. I'm still trying to get us to take that out because that's kind of really weird. But ultimately, just make sure that you are doing the main, all the mission goals and stuff. Again, this one isn't really hard. I really don't think so. I mean, it doesn't say anything in the on the rubric itself. However, I know in here it starts telling us they end up telling you in here somewhere that you have to take like a picture. But it's up to you on how to do that. So. But again, this one isn't really hard, so all you have to do is just take a look at that. Sarah, if you're going to do the picture, you can print it or you can just take a screenshot. Well, just to be safe, I mean, I'm hoping we actually got all of that stuff removed, but I keep seeing some students end up taking pictures on this anyway. And I know they still got the camera here. Yeah, right here. Take a picture of where you would have this placed and include it with your submission. So it is right there. I'm still trying to get that completely removed because that's kind of redundant. But just in case, just make sure you take a screenshot and just post that screenshot with your main mission goal, with your mission statement, and then that's perfectly cool. All right, any questions on this one? Again, this one's really not hard. It's just talking about a main mission goal. Make sure that you have your 3 values. And I'm going to show you an example. So this is one that a student actually did. And as you see, the most common one is usually this one right up here. My mission is to graduate from Full Sail from a degree in game design having a 3.5 GPA or better. And then he went and did determination, flexibility, and learning. And then he talked about how those values get to his main mission goal. So ultimately, this is this is pretty much what this is. Smack. Exactly, Dylan. That's a good one. Specific, measurable, achievable goals that are compatible to your lifestyle. Yep. And you keep going even after you've accomplished them. Yep. One lead. The picture is primarily just of your mission statement, and it's just showing where you're going to be putting this actual the statement, so you can actually read it constantly. In my sections, I really don't take this into account, mainly because it doesn't say anything in the rubrics as to, hey, make sure that you have the picture somewhere. So I tend to not really care if I don't see it. However, some instructors may end up liking the picture, so it's better safe than sorry. Just take a screenshot of it and just kind of put a line at the bottom of the after the mission statement. Put the picture here and then say where you're going to put this. And that's pretty much it. Yes, Kayla. I mean, you can turn this in. The one thing that, again, the reason why we have the rubrics at the bottom here, and we have that, typically we have that make it your own. And it just to kind of give you an idea, because again, since you're at a creative school, might as well show your creativity. But yes, Daryl, just like say, hey, you're going to be putting it on your refrigerator, and then take a picture of it. If you can print it out. If you don't, just like put it up on your background on your desktop. Take a screenshot of your desktop and say, hey, it's on my desktop. Very simple, very easy. Yeah, Shelby, again, we're a creative school. Go for it. Show your creativity. Do so, John. I'm sure that your instructor definitely knows Pokemon very well. But yeah, that's pretty much the mission statement. Does anybody have any questions on this one? Yeah, these 2 assignments, again, really not that hard. Really not that hard at all. Just as long as you don't copy our example. Because then that would be a very bad day for people. Wow, Jeremiah, you're already done? Awesome. Yeah, Lewis, that's pretty much what I would do this. Aaron, if anyone wants to take their networking further outside the assignment, you guys should join the Cyber Sailors Club. It's a really good way of networking with fellow online students. Yeah, there is an actual Full Sail Discord server up as well. I forget what the link is to it, but I'll try to dig for it, and if I do, I'll put it in the announcements for my section, and then I'll just pass it out to I'll send it out as an email to the other instructors, and hopefully they'll be able to paste it. But you can also go on to FS Connect and also take a look to see if it's there as well. But there is an actual Discord channel for Full Sail University. See? Excellent, John. But yes, there's a Full Sail University one specifically for your degree program. So I would highly recommend joining those servers and then start talking with your fellow peers and the instructors there, because again, many of them are also going to be further on in the degree program, and so it's really important to make sure that you're picking their brain and getting help from them, because that's your knowledge base right there. Oh yeah, I got my Discord down here. So yeah, I would just take a look at the FS Connect and see and pretty much look under, I think, Discord, and you could probably see if there's there, or even do a search for Discord for the Full Sail University stuff, and I'm pretty sure you can find it. All right. So any questions on the 3.0 assignment, the networking plan, or the 3.1 mission statement? Cool. Cool. Awesome. Yeah, Jeremiah, you're already done. That's a negative, Ghost Rider. John, yeah, it's definitely bedtime. It is bedtime for Bonzo. Yes, indeed. All right. Well, if there's no other questions on these assignments, that is pretty much it. Uh, Again, not that hard. Don't overthink these assignments. They're more tedious than anything else. However, just make sure that you throw all your comments on the networking plan and the mission statement, and then you're ready to rock and roll. Yeah, I tend to overthink quite a bit as well, Sarah, on my stuff, and then all of a sudden when I realize, hey, it's not that hard, and then I'm like, I should take my own advice sometimes. All right. Well, that is all we have if there are no questions. So I do wish everybody a wonderful evening, and then I will see you all next time on The Tem is Right. Ba-dum-dum-dum-ch. Because it's over 9,000! Yep, Dylan. You're very welcome. Have a wonderful evening, guys. I know it died a long time ago. However, I'm going to always keep it going. Yes, got to keep it going. Yes, I have, Chelsea. I have taken a look at Loot Crate. Don't worry about it, Shelby. I'll be closing this out in about a minute. But you can usually go up to File and Leave, or just click on the X. Yes, Justin, the mission statement can be on Word. Just make sure that you save it out as a PDF afterwards.